Hey guys, I'm Fight the Flat Earth. Welcome back to the channel that likes to find stupidity and point it out to everyone. But sometimes someone is so stupid that you don't actually need to point it out. And that's why today, episode 6 of Flerfs Are Idiots is all about Sleeping Warrior. Yes, Anthony Riley, or Liley, is so incredibly stupid that it actually took me twice as long to write this episode as I intended. You know, I have to actually go through his videos for this. People had voted for him to be in episode 5, but you know, it's taken me so long and I've worked so hard that...
Hey, Fight the Flat Earth.
So I guess Team Skeptic's helping with this one.
We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Yes, Sleeping Warrior, one of Nathan Oakley's minions, an all-round incredibly dumb fuck. His level of dumbfuckery has seen him nominated for Dumb Fuck of the Year no less than 3 times. With all the stupid shit he keeps saying, I think he might actually be trying to win. The year before last, he came second, so when he was nominated again for Dumb Fuck of the Year 2018, a lot of people had high hopes for him.
Let's do this. And yes, for real. All right. So, the winner of the 5th annual Dumb Fuck of the Year award is Trigger Tits!
Yeah. Oh God. Yes, I just
Anthony lost again. That's you know what I think is worse that he just keeps losing.
Yeah, he
That
keeps
just means he's
trying
too hard.
Anthony, you're a loser.
But is he losing, or is he losing less?
Oh man, so close, beaten to the number 1 spot by Trigger Tits. And don't worry, Southern Israelite, you'll be getting your own video soon. It must hurt being so stupid that you can't even win a loser competition. But who knows? We're hardly into the year, and you've already said some impressively stupid stuff, so maybe this will be your year. You know what, Liley? I think you can do it. I really do, but I know that you don't care about me because I've only been on the scene for a couple of months. Well, that's why I asked a couple of people who have been watching you and have been around for a lot longer for some words of encouragement for you. So here's a couple of your biggest supporters.
Liley, I don't want you to take this the wrong way. So don't forget, we know you're a massively dishonest piece of shit, which is why you constantly live up to the name Liley. But it's gotta hurt to always be the runner-up. I mean, 2 second-place finishes back-to-back in Dumb Fuck of the Year? Come on. I know you got more in you. I know you can win it this year. Come on, keep the stupid flowing. I mean, don't hold back. If you think something is absolutely crazy and extreme, do it. Say it. Come on, just let it all out. Don't hold back at all this year. I know you can win it this time.
Hello Anthony, it's me, Geo. I must say, I'm a little bit disappointed in you. Even though your ability to spew random nonsense on the internet is pretty much unsurpassed, even in your community, you still have not managed to win the Dumb Fuck of the Year award. I'm wondering why. But we both know that with a little bit of your work put into it, you can do it. I've seen you not understanding simple geometry. I've seen you claim that the moon landing was a hoax. Heck, I've seen you claim that space itself was a hoax. And a bunch of other random nonsense that I can't recall right now, because there's just too much of it. What's the next claim you're gonna make? Maybe the sum of the angles inside a triangle being over or lower than 180 degrees? Maybe Apple or Microsoft being responsible for 9/11? I don't know. Let's find out, shall we? You have about 11 months left to tell us more bullshit than ever before. Do your best, or your worst, depending on how you look at it, and I'm pretty certain that you will win this year's contest for DFOTY 2019. I'm Geo Streber, thank you, and peace out.
Now to help you out, Liley, just for you because I believe in you, I'm going to spend the rest of this video pointing out to everyone exactly how fucking stupid you are, so that I can give you a head start in Dumb Fuck of the Year 2019. But you can't rely on people like me giving you encouragement. You're going to have to work at it, Riley. Really work at it, because there's some newcomers on the scene like Flat Earth Jesus and Mind of God, and they're also really fucking stupid. Let's start by looking at the intro on Sleeping Warrior's channel, which he has titled The Best Flat Earth Intro Ever.
Sleeping Warrior, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a ball that does not exist.
Oh god, yeah, so you know when something's so cringe it's like hard to watch? that's that. I wonder if I can make it easier for people to watch. Oh, I know.
Sleeping Warrior, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a ball that does not exist.
That's a trick I learnt watching pretty much every American sitcom ever. If something's cringe or not funny, just put a laugh track on and it's funny. Now that is just poking fun, but it does point out something about Lily, and that is that he has a really, really big ego. One of the hardest things about watching his videos is when he tries to put on a smart sounding voice and a picture of himself on the screen. Do you want to see that picture? Well, that does go to reinforce one thing they say about Photoshop, is that it can make anything look a bit better. Now, this starts a theme with Lily, which leads me to one of two conclusions. One, he really is this fucking stupid and full of ego. Or two, that he knows exactly what he's saying and he's a lying piece of shit, but also full of ego. We're going to take a look at a video he posted, which he calls
Ball Earth Debunked. I was away for a short break away, and this is where I took this footage from. It's from the side of the hotel at Seacoast Caravan Park, and there's a post of fence in the corner. I'm looking for Mackle Lighthouse, and in the top left we can see that I've been here before, but at 100 feet, and took that photo top left. I can clearly see that Mackle Lighthouse is in the picture. I was challenged to go back and get it lower, and visibility was not always great, so I went back at a different time of the day, or when it was good and I could see it. So I'm clearly seeing the lighthouse, and as I zoom the camera out a little bit, you should see that I can get it to basically match the landscape. This is a little bit of wow, look at how clear the footage was. And now as I zoom the camera out, I can pause it there. If I zoom in a little bit into the image, you can see that it matches the above image in the top left hand corner. This was taken from 100 feet though, and there is the lighthouse.
So Sleeping Warrior claims that he can see the lighthouse at the lower elevation as well as the higher elevation, which of course should be impossible on a spinning space pair with a circumference of 25,000 miles. But I would like you to take a look at the picture again. Now, Lily says that this is the lighthouse, but either he's lying or he's completely worthy of a win in Dumbfuck of the Year. Look at this line connecting these two areas. The point that Lily is saying is the lighthouse is actually here on his original picture, and that means the lighthouse in his second picture is somewhere down here. Now, either the Earth is a ball or that lighthouse is several meters underwater. I did start to think he was lying until I found out about how inept he is at basic maths. I know that some of you will have seen the next clip already. If you haven't, then please go and check out the entire clip, which is on Agent Ron Burgundy's channel by clicking the link above.
Anthony, if a triangle has the sides 1, 1, and 1, do you know what the angles of the triangle are?
Which kind of triangle are you on about? Are you on about like a right angle triangle?
The triangle has sides 1, 1, and 1. Do you know what the angles are?
The angles would be... Well, it would be an equilateral triangle, wouldn't it?
Right, so what are the angles? Now I'm going to ask this again. If you have a triangle with sides of 1, 1, and 1, what are the angles?
I'm gonna pull up a triangle calculator.
Let's do this again. Anthony, a triangle has sides 1, 1, and 1. What are the angles? Is somebody recording this? Because this is just priceless.
You know, whenever I'm feeling sad or I need a pick-me-up, I just watch a video of Sleeping Warrior trying to figure out triangles. So what do you guys think? Is he a liar? Or is he just really stupid? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Next up, I would like to talk about gravity, because for the flat earth morons, gravity is a massive sticking point because it completely destroys their space pancake. Now, the problem is that they say we can't prove gravity for a few reasons. One of which is that they don't understand gravity at all, and they say things like, oh, well, how come that butterfly can defy gravity? That just proves that they don't understand the model they're disagreeing with, because the butterfly creates a force under its wings which is greater than that of gravity, because gravity is proportional to mass and the butterfly doesn't have much mass. They also say there's no experiment that can prove gravity. Lily says that the Cavendish experiment does not prove gravity and is not even an experiment. Well, you know what, Lily? You're a fucking idiot. Here's Team Skeptic.
Hey, Fight the Flat Earth.
You keep fighting the flat earth, and I'll handle this idiot for you. For those of you who don't know, Anthony Riley is a 3-time nominee and 2-time runner-up in Red's Rhetoric's annual Dumbfuck of the Year award, primarily for saying stupid shit like this.
No, well actually it's not really a viable argument to argue that it's a sphere but not be able to prove that curve, axial rotation or gravity.
We've already proven it's a sphere with thousands of photos that come out every year from space. Not to mention, the work of geodesic surveyors is based on the sphericity of the Earth. The two axes of rotation can literally be seen at the equator. Looking north, all stars will appear to rotate around Polaris, and in the south, all stars seem to rotate around Sigma Octantis. This one observation proves that the Earth is at least a 3-dimensional object with 2 points of rotation on its surface. As far as gravity goes, we know from scientific experimentation that an accelerating force towards the surface does exist, and we call this force gravity. Cavendish's experiment proved that objects with mass do attract to one another, even inside of a separate and much larger gravitational force that's present.
But he refuses to accept that things that fall down are not caused by this fictional force called gravity.
Then what the fuck is the reason that things fall to the ground, you fucking idiot? Don't give me that density buoyancy bullshit either, as buoyancy is dependent upon an accelerating force to give the different densities a direction of alignment.
He refuses to accept that the balance or the likelihood or the probability, call it what you will, of something that is cited by Cavendish himself to be not greater than 50 million to 1 of the object's weight.
Anthony Riley, you're a fucking idiot. How can you proclaim to redefine physics when you don't even understand the conceptual difference between probability and ratios? You should really take the time out to understand what exactly Cavendish was saying instead of misrepresenting the quote altogether and looking like a dipshit. He didn't say there was a 50 million to 1 chance that this experiment would be due to gravity. He said that the force attracting the two masses was very minute, approximately 1/50 millionth of the force exerted by the mass of the balls. This has absolutely nothing to do with probability.
He doesn't seem to understand that the chances of that being the cause for what we observe is infinitesimally small.
And you don't seem to understand that what Cavendish actually stated was that the force he is measuring is 1/50 millionth that of the weight force exerted by the balls. This is a ratio between the magnitude of forces involved, not a probability of properly explaining the force causing the balls to gravitate towards each other. You're a fucking idiot.
And you guys are clinging on with desperation that this is the cause for your objects falling? No.
Well, until you or anyone else can provide a more suitable explanation as to why all objects with mass fall with the consistent acceleration of 9.8 meters per second squared, I'll just stick to the scientific consensus and the results of the repeatable Cavendish experiment. It's flat earth idiots that are desperate for any explanation other than gravity to explain this observation, as the concept of gravity proves that the flat earth is impossible.
If you really think that 1 in a million and not greater than is some kind of cause in science, you can't scale. You are a moron.
Yeah, none of that shit made sense whatsoever. 1 in 50 million implies probability, but 1/50 millionth implies a ratio, and how this relates to scale is beyond me. We are not morons, Anthony Riley. You are a fucking idiot.
1 in 50 million of the object's weight is not causation, guys. If you can't see that, you are stupid.
1 in 50 million? Don't you mean 1 in 50 millionth? You fucking idiot. 1 in 50 millionth describes the strength of the force between the two balls in relation to the strength of the force or the weight on the ball. I'm not here to go into detail about the Cavendish experiment, but it's not just the force of attraction between the two balls that causes them to gravitate towards each other as they do. You must exaggerate this force so that the force of attraction is amplified enough to make a measurement. I highly recommend researching the Cavendish experiment and how it has been improved over the years for increased accuracy.
This experiment really is very difficult to get to work. This experiment really is very difficult to get to work. This experiment really is very difficult to get to work.
So why is he saying that it's very difficult to get to work, right? Shouldn't it work all by itself?
Yeah, sure, Riley. We should just throw down 4 balls and the Cavendish experiment should just work all by itself, you fucking idiot. But also by this definition, shouldn't just the possession of an interferometer and a couple of mirrors mean that the Michelson-Morley experiment should just work all by itself too? Well, I guess that's about all the stupid I can take for right now. Hopefully I've lightened the load for Fight the Flat Earth, and he can find a way to push through the rest of today's Flat Earth bullshit. Fight the Flat Earth, back to you.
Thanks for that, team. If you guys aren't already subscribed to him, then you really should be, okay? One thing that amazes me about flat earthers is that they think with their incredibly limited intellect, they can still debunk all of science and the greatest minds that have ever existed. Liley does this more than most, and we've already showed how he can't compare simple images or even figure out simple triangles. Recently, Conspiracy Catz was debating on the Non Sequitur show and explained how we can actually figure out the circumference and size and what's inside the globe using seismic waves from earthquakes and stuff. We can figure out the epicenter and where we are on the globe because it's an exact science that has been done loads and loads. However, Liley came along with a video that said that this was all rubbish. I thought we would let Conspiracy Catz respond to that.
Tricuspid, bicuspid valves, aorta, ventricle, pulmonary artery. Sorry, just caught me. I was just doing some reading on the heart and the circulatory system. You see, I've read some definitions now about the heart, and I think I'm qualified, fully qualified, to do a heart bypass surgery. So if anybody wants one, please leave a message in the comments, and I'll get round to you. I'll tell you what else. I was reading this book on children's mechanics before. I learned a little bit about the hydraulic system. I read a definition. So I feel like I can also come around and change your brake pads on your car for free. I've never done it before, but I've read some stuff, so I know more than enough to do that. You see, that's farcical, isn't it? Really farcical that reading a definition makes somebody think they're an expert. And yet Sleeping Warrior, who has no experience in geology, seismology, colouring in, right? No experience in any of those things, suddenly thinks that reading a paragraph, a definition of seismic waves, gives him enough information and understanding to debunk the whole science of seismology, to debunk the findings and the years of experience of all the geologists and seismologists who've used seismic waves to predict the epicenters of earthquakes and to figure out what the internal structure of the earth is. And he's managed to gain enough intelligence just to piss all over him because he's read a definition. I wonder what I need to do to perform a colonoscopy.
Thank you, and guys, if you haven't subscribed to Conspiracy Catz, then again, what the hell's wrong with you? Get that done now. And that's all for today. A few hours after this video comes out, I'm going to be live on the Non Sequitur show debating Ali B, and then come back tomorrow for the start of another new series called What the Flerf, where we look at a particular video that a Flerf has released. Make sure you like this video, you're subscribed, get the notification bell on. Thank you to my patrons, you guys are awesome, and remember, stupidity's not a right, fight the flat earth.
We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun